Can I? Can I?
Hey everybody, this is Jamie Shaw, and this is the Jamie Shaw Marketing Show. And tonight I have a very special guest, Joe Wissler. And for many of you that don't know Joe, Joe's been around our community for almost a year, and he's been learning for a year and growing into the leader that he was born to be. And what's cool about Joe is Joe's not no spring chicken. He's been around the block a few times. He's been had done different things in his career, and he's a 70-year-old young man that's still doing network marketing, and he's having success with it. And I hear a lot of people say, well, how much does it cost me, or can I make my money back in 10 days? I had a conversation the other day with a guy. He's like, can I make my money back in 10 days? I'm like, well, I don't think so. And Joe doesn't have that mentality. He doesn't have the mentality, oh, can I make my money back tomorrow? No, he's in it for the long haul, and he's working his business every day and having results and growing into a leader. So I want to introduce Joe Wissler. Joe, say hi to everybody and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. My name is Joe Wissler. I live in Labrador in northeastern Canada. I'm an hour and a half ahead of Eastern time. So if you're on the East Coast, there's two time zones left in North America to the east. A lot of people don't realize that. Amy has asked me to talk about how I got here. Well, I am 70 years old. I have a bit of a stutter, and I'm going to get that out of the way ahead of time, because when I mention it, I noticed that I don't stutter so much after that. So I've got that out of the way ahead of time. I worked for the government here for over 25 years as a social worker. I worked in a rather isolated area for most of that time, and for four years before that, I worked in a native area. So my experience as a social worker was quite varied and quite exciting at times. But I always had my finger in. I know I've been married now for 48 years, and I think the first year to year and a half of our marriage, I was in Amway, where many of us of my age were back in the very late 60s and early 70s. We had our fingers in there for a bit. I never managed anything with them. I moved here. Well, I also taught school in Southern Africa for 6 years at two different times. 3 years in the 70s and three years in the early 80s. Very interesting experience. Something I still hold really close and really enjoy thinking about and remembering all the interesting things that happened to us, the different things that we ate, and the different things that bit us, and the different things that ran over us in the night, those kinds of things. So we my wife and I had quite a time there. We moved here to Forto in 1991, a rather isolated place. At that time, you could only get in and out of here about 8 months of the year. The other times it was closed off. but we had good phone. And at that time, we had no email, no internet here. I was on a committee that got the internet here, and the internet consisted at that time for about three years of calling long distance out to a node to get your email. There was no web browsing at all. By about 1996, we got dial-up, and many of you can remember the brrr to connect to dial-up. And at that time, I began to look at things online and really interested in what to do and how to make a few extra dollars. I was full-time employed, as most of you are. Most of you are full-time employed. I know Jamie is, and I've been retired now for 4 years. So I'm lucky in that I mowed the lawn this morning as much as I was able to. I can only work at stuff for about an hour and a half, and then I physically get tired. I had a heart attack upstairs. In fact, I had more than a heart attack. My heart arrested upstairs in my living room 11 years ago. The fellas were there because I'd call the ambulance. They shocked me back just like you see it on TV. Now, you understand I wasn't watching, but I saw the pieces of the equipment, just the covers of it around when we came later. I had an operation. I was flown out and had an operation and was back. And now I'm actually really good. I was able to get back to work, but again, I was a social worker. I wasn't digging ditches. So it's an important thing to remember. I had some stress in my job, of course, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't handle in that way. So I was able to get back to work, and of course by that time, 11 years ago, we had high speed, and I had been into one thing and another and just never really achieved much success. After I got out of my job, I actually got into something that I had some success with. I sold online through eBay. I drop shipped through eBay and Amazon, and I was making money. Some months reasonably good money, but not good enough. And every time I had a sale, I thought, oh my goodness, that's with this supplier or that supplier or this. I had 7 or 8 suppliers, and each time I thought, oh my goodness, do they still have the item? Because drop shipping, you don't own the item. You never own the item. I get their money, and then I order it from wherever I order it, and these people fulfill the order. So I was having that anguish, and when you get an order, you're supposed to feel good. Geez, I got this order. But occasionally, now I had hundreds of orders over 2.5 years, but I think I probably only had about 4 times that I couldn't fulfill it. But those 4 times were really traumatic. And of course, you're dealing with people who the table arrived, but the chairs didn't. And then the chairs arrived and the table didn't. You know, there's all kinds of. I was just going like this, just struggling with that kind of issues. And so I was very happy to stop doing that. And I did that, and I found something that we're doing now, and a group that we're doing now, a group that both Jamie and I are in, along with a number of others, where the emphasis is on self development, and we're helping people grow and helping people learn how to grow. Such an important thing that we're doing. Uh, a few, well, it hasn't been a year. It's been like September, eight or nine. It's been about 10 months that I've been connected here, Jamie. And when I was first around, I was just like a little mouse in the corner with my mouth shut. And that's strange because my mouth is seldom shut. But uh, but I've learned to make videos. I've really learned to make videos. I had made a few videos before, but I was not pleased with any of them. I've learned that you make a video that I'm attracted. I am able to attract a number of folks just because I am who I am. A social worker from before, an older fella from before, a father, all kinds of experiences that you have that you will attract people. I will attract a slightly different kind of person than Jamie and other people in our group. We're not going to attract exactly the same kind of person. It's so important, the work that we do now. I have begun to get some success now. I talk to people. I've had some sales, not as many as I had as a drop shipper, but when I get a sale now, I know it's going to be fulfilled. I'm not worried about that, and I can just let it go. I now can work specifically at getting at improving myself, at making myself more valuable, and therefore my business more valuable, and that's really important.
I agree with that. I remember when you first come into the workshop, you were, like you said, you were in the corner. I don't think you asked a few questions and stuff like your first couple of months, but you didn't really teach anything. But now you're at the point where you're teaching every week. You get involved in the dialogue. You have your opinion of how things should work and stuff. And that shows how much you've grown in the 10 months. My question to you is, how much has the workshop helped you?
Okay, we're talking about this workshop. It's a free workshop in that you don't have to pay specifically for that, but you do need to be part of our organization, and that of course has a financial cost, but that's just part of being in business and growing your own business. Knowing that there's some cost involved in your business. And the question was, it's gone. The question was, how have I grown in the workshop?
How much has the workshop helped you?
Oh, okay. How much has it helped? Well, I know that I'm supposed to learn and teach and then and get out there and do. we need to we need to learn things. We need to do things. We need to teach things. And if I don't teach something every week now on the on the workshop, then I'm not doing my job. I'm not growing. And that's exactly how I feel. I'm putting my fist up. I really believe that at now. I want to get in. I want to get doing it, because so many people, when they start their business, they feel, and I was one of these people, that you get into something, you want to learn everything, you want to make sure you can answer all the questions before you start to promote. Well, you need to learn, you need to begin to promote, and you need to teach. You need to do all three of those things. I think I've covered, and that's what's important to me, to get all three of those things done. Don't just learn it and teach it and don't promote it. Get all three of those things together.
I agree, and that's kind of philosophy I use in there. I mean, I go and learn something, and I'm always learning something. I go out and learn it, then I go out and do it, and then I when I'm satisfied with my results, I bring it in the workshop and teach it. And I taught a Facebook strategy, which it worked really good, and you used it,
and I used it. Yes,
it needs to be tweaked a little bit, and you and I have discussed that, how it needs to be tweaked and stuff.
Yes.
But but it worked, and that's what one thing the workshop's for. Joe took that strategy, he used it himself, he got the same results I did, so it worked, and he was happy with his results, I was happy with my results, and that's what the workshop's all about, to help each other out.
Yeah.
And
I was so pleased with that. I was so pleased with that, because I had never used Facebook. I had never really been on Facebook much. I had a Facebook page for myself, but prior to joining this group, it never was very active. I might have been on it once a week at the most. Now Twitter, I like Twitter, but Facebook, now I know how important Facebook is. I try to use it. Well, I'm on it a number of times a day now, just to look at it and respond to it, because folks are responding to me, so I need to be responding to them.
Yeah, that's one thing about using that strategy that I taught. It builds up your fan page, so Facebook algorithm starts seeing it, so you get more interaction. And after you quit running ads on it, you still get people coming in and liking the page.
Yeah.
Organically.
I'm amazed. I'm frankly amazed at how much I get. Eight or 10 a day come in and and I do go back. I may not need to, but I'm in the habit of going back and thanking the ones that seem like reasonable people. I mean, you do get the crazies occasionally, like in any Facebook situation, but you go on and you thank them, and there's 5 or 6 or 7 that that you get to go on to, and you get to suggest, well, if you're interested in business, we can talk more, and you want to let them speak first, because I'm not there to hit them enough. I'm not throwing them my link, any link at all. Let them. I'm putting bread crumbs out for them, or M&Ms, or chocolate, or whatever it is. Just something out for them to. And I'm being watched. I know I'm being watched by a number of people on Twitter, on Facebook, on the email. I know this. I'm seeing this now because folks come back and they I mean, it's not as much as others, because I'm not perhaps as fast or as good as some leaders are, but I'm beginning to get there. And if it takes, I'm 70 now. If it takes 4 or 5 years, I expect I'm still going to be at it, and still going to be good up into my 80s. And anyway, as long as my brain works, the rest of it is going to work too.
Oh, sure, sure. And that's what, a lot of people, Joe was in the same position. They come into the workshop, they think of themselves as newbies. And, Dave and Katie and I we don't treat anybody as a newbie. We just chip away the rough edges and turn them into the people that they were born to be, and help them grow into who they were born to be. Now Joe's leading, Dave's picking out people randomly to lead the workshop now. I've been doing it for off and on. I mean, not off and on, but we rotate and do it, and we want to give others chances to lead the workshop. Maria's done it. I don't remember if he said it was this Saturday or next Saturday, but he's going to pick somebody else. And it may very well be Joe that he picks to lead the workshop that week.
And I'll look forward to that day. Yes.
Yeah. We see the growth in the community, so we want everybody to have a chance to lead the workshop. That's why, in the workshop, when you come to it, you should always be prepared, because you may get singled out. The first time I led and taught in the workshop, I come in late and they put me right there on the spot and had me teach. I wasn't even prepared, but I do enough education, self-education, that I was prepared, and I delivered right then and there. And, and Joe's seen that a lot of times, so he knows that he's got to be prepared. That's why he prepares something to teach every week. And that's your chance to shine. So
yeah, and it's such a good feeling, because you know that you're growing, and you know that you're sharing, and it's just it's a prep for the calls that you make, or the connections that you make the next week. Through the growth that you've done helps you to prepare for your contact with new people who don't know who you are and are suspicious of you, of course. I mean, I've got this is my hair. I've got a few bags here, so I'm legitimately an older fella. That's the way it is. But I still got my hair. It's not. It's still there. After the heart attack, I had prostate cancer. I'm a survivor, and I always say I'm going to be here tomorrow. And occasionally, I'm sure somebody's looking at me and thinking, "Well, are you going to be here tomorrow?" And I'm quite confident I'm going to be here tomorrow to help them.
Yeah, that's amazing, Joe. So let's go back a little bit. When you first come into the workshop, you spent a lot of time learning and stuff. So what was the defining moment that made you start working harder to get leads and sales?
Well, the thing from the workshop, I came in quite motivated, because I started late with government. I didn't start till I was 40, so I only had 25 years plus in when I retired. And my pension is not anywhere near as big as it would be if I'd have worked 30 or 35 years for these guys. But I'm kind of pleased that did all those other things, that I went overseas, that I did all those different kinds of services. Defining moment. I really enjoyed the connection with the group, and the feeling that I knew that they felt that I could do it. I always feel that I can do it, even if I'm stuttering, if I'm whatever other trouble I'm showing. I always have that feeling that I can do it. I worked in a social work office for almost 25 years by myself. It's an isolated area. I was the only social worker, which was a blessing in some regards, but I didn't have easy access to share with another worker and talk about a case. If I had a case, I had to try to reach the supervisor, or another social worker on the phone. So I had to do it myself, and I was very used to having to do it myself. The other real positive part there is that my management was always 300 kilometers away. They were always a long ways away. It was a real gift. I seldom had anybody come to see what I was doing. Of course, they could tell from my reports and the stuff I had to enter on the web for notes and things. But I was used to motivating myself to see that my job was done, because it had to be done, and there was no one there to tell me, Joe, you've got to get up and do this. I always was able to do that, and I have no trouble now to motivate myself to see that I'm up early, or stay up late if I haven't quite finished something. I've got a strong desire to make some extra money, but I don't want to focus on that. I want to put the emphasis on the service to my customers and to the community. I put out content regularly, excuse me, by a blog and YouTube, mostly there, and on my fan page. So I'm all the time putting out this, and people are noticing. They notice. They ask questions. As I say, it's never when my phone rings all the time with questions, with concerns. I'm going to be happier, and in the meantime, I need to just put out the content and keep my head in the right place of service, and the money will come to me. The money will come to everybody, because there's so many folks out there who want some kind of home business. They want a lift up. They want to learn how to do it, how to market it, and that's the kind of story that we're dealing with here. Is that we're connected with a great firm that helps you market whatever it is. Jamie, I probably lost the original question.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. You explained pretty much. I don't know. I guess that's kind of trying to decide. Where you made the switch and started having success. And that's what I was wanting to say. And I think you covered it pretty well in there. And A lot of people don't.
Okay, I'll go back back at that. I think it was just a matter that I stayed with it. I could have stopped. I could have said, "Geez, I've been 6 months," because I was just over six months before I had a sale. And I mean, I was used to sales in the twos and threes and fives a day with things on. I mean, it was a real change. It was a real change. At the beginning, I knew I wasn't going to get sales, but after 2 or 3 months, I thought, my God, you know. So, but I bought in. I bought into the idea that that you, Jamie, and Dave, and others were telling me, weren't just telling me, but were sharing with everybody. And I saw the success that others were having that had stuck to it. Some of them for years without any reasonable sales. Now I've had 2 or 3 now that are you know that have bought from me, and I got 4 or 5 more that are out there just hanging around that are likely to buy within a reasonable time. And it doesn't matter. When they come, they come. I'm just keeping them here and keeping them happy with content and trying to attract others. I'm trying to attract others in a general sort of way, and I just stayed with it. I didn't stop, and that I think is really the key, Jamie. That's probably what you might. I don't know if you were thinking about that, but I mean, there was a time I could have stopped. I could have said, "Well, my God, there's nothing to this. This is garbage," you know. I've done all this work, but that's the mindset of the social worker. I mean, I got paid every 2 weeks for 25 years and 4 months, and including the time I had 7 months off for my heart attack, and a few more months off when my prostate was being serviced. So I mean, I had built up all that sick leave. I was paid throughout all of that, and I didn't have to do nothing. Now I know that I have to work and get customers and keep a group together. And that's what I'm doing. I know it's a business now, and I have to invest in my business. And I'm not just going to get paid for showing up.
Oh, exactly. And you know, and that defines it right there.
Yeah.
You know, not giving up after 6 months and being consistent in your daily action, going out and meeting people, having conversations with them, and doing marketing every day, whether it be on Facebook, on Twitter, or on your blog. You know, you're doing those strategies and you're sticking with them and being consistent with them every day. And that's the key, you know. And, you know, I've said this in the workshop before. I've noticed, you know, I was sick all last week. I was sicker than a dog, and I didn't take no action. And my leads fell off last week because I wasn't taking no action. But I did still get a couple leads, you know, and I was talking to Dave. It was Monday night, and I just had, before the show, the pre-show, and I logged into my email, and I'm like, oh, I got a lead. And I didn't even know because I'd been so sick. I didn't even check my email. I didn't even bother to check it over the weekend because I was sick all the way up till Sunday. You know, so I was totally surprised that I had leads because I hadn't done nothing all week. So, and, you know, when you continue to take daily action, and of course, I fell off of my action quite a bit. I haven't been doing as much blogging and videos and stuff like that. I've been experimenting with other things, and I've been having communications with people, you know, and learning this communication thing, because when I ask in the group for feedback from the group what I need to improve on, you know, most of the people that gave me feedback said I need to improve on my communication skills. So that's what I've been working on. And, you know, like I say all the time, my job gets in the way, so I'll quit taking action. I'll be working on myself for something, and then I'll get back into taking action. So I go in spurts. So, but this communication skill stuff that I've been working on, I taught a little bit of it 2 weeks ago, and Dave and I were both sick, and we ran a short hangout. But I've got some more I've gone through a whole series, and so I'm probably going to be adding some more, teaching some more as we go. And that's what's great about the workshop. It gives me a platform. It gives Joe a platform to come in and practice what we're going to do before we deliver it out to the marketplace. And you have any thoughts on that, Joe?
Yeah, it's absolutely true, because I've been able to teach things and just get confidence. Just get confidence. Now, if you were talking to my wife, she said I'm the most confident. She probably used some awful word there, because I exude it ordinarily. But I know you've seen me, Jamie, in a group that I wasn't familiar with, just sitting in the corner and listening and watching, and then gradually taking my place and growing. And that's exactly the issue. I've given public talks a number of times on things to do with social work and spousal abuse, all that kind of stuff. I've done a lot of that over the years. Hey, I stutter, I don't care. I get in there and I talk to them. Either in a round table situation, or sometimes I get to stand up and talk, and it's good. And I do it because I don't feel at ease to do it, and I know that I'm growing. So this situation is the same thing. If I'm very much at ease, and if Jamie, you're very much at ease with whatever it is you're doing, then you need to be doing something else too. In addition to the part that's easy, you need to be doing something else that is more, that you find difficult in order to grow. And I definitely feel that way.
Right, and it's no longer that I need to do it; it's I have to do it. And sometimes I just got to find the time to do it, because mine aren't needs no more. They're have tos, because in order to succeed, I have to do the things I need to do to succeed. And you realize that too. So, and I think the biggest key that I've learned over this, going through this part of the training, and it's in our MOSP back office, that I've been going through. I can point it out to you if you want to know about it, Joe. But it's how to communicate with people, and it's a whole series on it. And they even walk you through step by step on how to communicate with people. And I thought that was very, very interesting. And I didn't even know it was there. I was hunting for some stuff in the back office, and I clicked on one of the trainings, and it said go to this series of trainings to begin, and then come back to this one. So I'm like, okay. So I did that. I went through the the communication part of it, and Brian Finale's taught on this before, so it's in there. And if people don't know where it is, they need to come to me. I'll show Joe where it is, and then they'll have to come to me or Joe to find out where it is, and we'll show you where it is. So because I'm not going to reveal where it is on this hangout. You want to know, you're going to have to come to our workshop and find out, because that's the point of our workshop, is to grow leaders. We want to do that. The same thing MOSP is. We want to grow our community up into leaders, so they go out in the marketplace and people see the Workshop Warriors and want to come back and be a part of the Workshop Warrior Institute and grow as people, because we help each other. Katie's motto is not to leave anybody behind, and we don't leave anybody behind. We help everybody that's in our community, and you got to be a part of our community And what I mean by be a part of our community, you either got to be on my team, Joe's team, Dave's team, Katie's team, or anybody else that's in the Workshop Warrior Institute. Barb and Tim Cole that are in the chat. Pastor Jackie's in the chat. I forgot who else was down there.
There's a number of them anyway. Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
few of them down there in the chat. You have to be a part of their team to be in our community, and it's a very small investment to be in our. By joining their team, it's a small investment to join their team. You get the Workshop Warrior Institute for free, but you have to complete a few steps. And if you're asking what them steps are, I'll let Joe tell you what them steps are.
Yes. Well, you need to be a member of MLSP, and you need to fill out. You need to do a video, and there's several different steps there. I may not get them all because they're from memory. You need to tell something about yourself. You need in this video. You need to give your strengths and your weaknesses, and there must be 2 or 3 other things. I don't know, but those are the things I'm thinking of now.
You got to tell us a little about yourself, strengths and weaknesses, and why you want to be a part of the Workshop Warrior Institute.
Okay. And the important another important thing there is that this shows, by doing this, it shows your initiative. And I remember when I was asked to do it, I just did it. I never even, I thought, oh, well, I've got to do this. So I got busy and did it. And I don't want to mention who said this, but somebody said, oh, well, I'm glad you did it so quickly. And I thought, well, Saturday is coming. I want to be in on it. And apparently, some people get this information and they never act on it. And in fact, I've had my first person now who I gave the information to, and they just didn't do it. Now, I don't chase after them. I don't know. Nobody was going to chase after me. But to me, it's such a positive thing. You gain so much from it. Even though the first couple of weeks, as Jamie was saying, I sat in the corner and watched and listened. But at least I watched and listened and saw this tremendous group and the growth within the group and the people, all kinds of great information and things. I felt like a sponge. I really felt like a sponge, just able to absorb a lot of stuff.
Right. And most people don't take action because they're afraid. They're afraid to do video. I was afraid to do video myself. I think you were a little nervous to do video. I don't know if you were afraid to do
I was very nervous to do it, but I wanted something. I wanted that. I wanted to get into that group and see what it was all about. So that overcame that, and I've shared that now with others. One person has actually, I have customers who aren't interested there. They're using MLSP for other reasons. They're not interested in the workshop. Well, that's fine. But I had one person was interested in the workshop, and then I know he does videos because I've seen his videos, but he didn't choose to do that video. Now he may soon, but he's not doing it now. So that's all there is to it. You can only encourage. You can only encourage.
Exactly. And some people come in and they think they know it all, and then they get a reality check 6 months down the road, and they'll come back and say, Joe knew what he was talking about. I should have listened to him. And then they'll say, Joe, will you help me? And you'll be sitting there waiting for them. You just got to wait for them to come around, because a lot of people think they know everything there is about marketing, and they get in. I've been in the industry, internet marketing. You know, I was in Amway too at one time. Um, 2008. You know, and in the 90s, I did door-to-door sales and stuff like that. You know, and then Amway a little bit. And I didn't get real involved in Amway. I went to a few meetings and stuff. I didn't really get into selling it. My parents were in it. That was at a time in my life where I was unemployed and I didn't have the money to get in. But I went to the hotel meetings and all that stuff, and I was very intrigued by it was home business at the time, having three-way calls and parties and hotel meetings and backdoor meetings, and it was intriguing to me. It wasn't, all the meetings wasn't intriguing, and having to be on the road all the time to go to meetings, that wasn't intriguing. It was the interaction between the community that was intriguing to me. And I kind of like that. And, and we had that community in our workshop, and the interaction and helping each other and stuff. And that's what I see. I still have tapes of Zig Ziglar around here somewhere that, I pop out and listen to once in a while. And, I have some stuff of Jim Rohn's too that I listen to once in a while. And these guys have been around for a long time. Of course, neither one of them are here no more, but their training is still out there and still valuable. And I'm sure Joe listens to a lot of it too. I'm always developing my mindset. I'm always educating myself, and that's how you grow. But that education is no good unless you put it into action. Coming to hangouts, posting on Facebook, doing your blog, recording your videos, stuff like that. You have to be putting your content out there. And, that's where some of us lack. And, and we all go through a funk and us, a downward turn and everything, but we got to pick ourselves back up and get back into it and get to marketing again, getting our content out there, getting our blog out there. I'm building a new blog for my consulting services. I've got started on it, but it's kind of got put off on the sidetrack because I'm working on communication skills, because communication skills is important to my business. Because if I don't have an audience to talk to, then I don't have people and stuff to sell to. And I don't post my links to everybody and spam out my links. I have conversations with people to get to know them. And that's what this business is all about, relationship building. See, it's about 10 minutes till, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. The only other thing that I wanted to say that you touched upon is that I was so surprised when I maybe three months ago with a person that I knew from another situation, another business. In fact, I was in his down the line, and he'd found my blog, and he said, "So, what are you selling? What are you selling? I can't find a link there. So what are you doing? Your stuff is good, but what are you doing?" And I hadn't realized at that point. I hadn't realized that, and I brought that to the meeting, and everybody laughed, and they says, "Yes, that's the way it's supposed to be." That and if you look at my blog, and if you look carefully at my blog, you'll see some links. There is some bits and pieces there, but most of it is content. Most of it is content, and that's what it is. We put it out there. We're attracting folks to us. I think I'm finished, and we're gonna close early today, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, we're gonna close up shop early because tonight is Deep Abyss. And if you don't know what Deep Abyss is, it's a monthly mastermind, and there's a live call on the third Thursday of the month. And our mentor, Miss Diane Hockman, takes you down to the inner depths of your mind and teaches you how to think for yourself. And that's how we grow into these people that we have become, with mindset training. And tonight's the live call, and we want to make sure to get on the live call early so we can chit chat with Diane. So if you need mindset training, there's a link over to the right side that says Deep Abyss. Click on it. It'll cost you $24.95 a month, and you can get in and get access to the deep abyss call and get your mind taken down into the inner depths of yourself and learn to think for yourself. So we're going to close out the hangout tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for everybody in the chat, and we will see you all next week.
And thanks for coming.